Hello and welcome to our second podcast, right? Vidcast, podcast, depending how you watch or listen. This is going to be on Podbean, by the way, and maybe some other services. I don't know yet. So if you feel like listening to a couple of idiots ramble on for the next hour, download Podbean and look us up. Link in the description. Anyway, we're going to talk about all kinds of garbage today.
Our chief topic today would be space.
Elon Musk, Twitter, probably some left stuff, right stuff. I don't know. The world's our oyster.
Well, we definitely got some Elon news happening right now. As you all know, Elon is attempting to buy Twitter outright with a price tag of $42 billion. It's funny because Elon doesn't just have fuck you money. He has fuck everybody money. So initially, he bought in a bunch of shares, which made him majority shareholder. He had more shares than Twitter creator Jack Dorsey, who Jack left, by the way, and absolutely regretted everything about Twitter, how it's made the world worse, how it's made discourse worse, how it's increased, it just made the world a more terrible place, more retarded, more awful. And, of course, the SJWs, they're going a bit crazy right now because they can't take it. They're going insane. Yep. A lot of happening right now. I love it.
Tards.
A lot of happening right now. Yeah. I love the tears. It's funny. It's fun now because the good guys are winning. Mm-hmm. Elon Musk is the richest person on planet Earth, and it's good to know that he's one of us. He's one of the good guys, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. And so they were freaking out, and then they freaked out even more when he announced that he wanted to go on the board of Twitter, which when you're on the board, you have a fiduciary obligation to the shareholders, but that would also require Elon to show up to board meetings, and he has to value his time more at SpaceX and Tesla Motors. So he entertained that idea, then realized, wait, I actually have to be on the board. And of course, if you look at Elon's pretty bad when he's on the board of anything. He's a very practical guy. He doesn't want to be in meetings. He's a doer. He builds rockets. He goes to Mars. So then straight up he just said, you know what? I want to buy Twitter.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, just to cut you off there,
yeah.
I know two people, my ex-boss and my current boss. They both own a bunch of businesses, and they're both super, super busy. They have no time for meetings. They're both doers. They're both hands-on guys, right? You ask them to do something, they're like, oh, for sure, I'll get it tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, I forgot, I'm sorry. They go to a meeting. They don't want to go to meetings. They want to do shit. So I understand his pain. Like if I was rich as fuck, and I owned a bunch of businesses or I was involved in a bunch of stuff, I don't want to go to fucking meetings all day.
I think Elon
wants to go to meetings all day. I'd rather go and do stuff. I'd rather be on scene.
I think Elon's playing 4D chess right now. I think he had no interest in joining the Twitter board in the first place, right? So here's the funny part. If he buys Twitter,
you're way too close. Dude.
If he buys Twitter, the board right now has a legal obligation to make as much money as possible for the shareholders. Elon buying the company outright and going private makes everyone a lot more money. So right now Twitter, they have the board, since they're left-wing crazy ideologues who hate free speech and want to ruin the country, and indeed they want to ruin the world. Because, straight up they're communists. They're introducing a tactic called the poison pill, where for a limited time, they're going to cheapen the share to Twitter and not allow Elon to buy any more shares, because they basically want Elon to have less shares. It's just dirty. And you can tell that, they hate free speech. They want to limit free speech. Of course, the idea is they want to create a safe space for the alphabet people.
The alphabet people.
The alphabet people, right?
Yeah.
But let's be honest. Elon wants to make Twitter. He's a free speech absolutist, and it's like he wants Twitter to be 100% free speech. Because, for example, if you're a politician, right? We've seen what happened to Donald Trump. If you're a politician and you want to kind of extend your policies towards your constituency, right? You can't do that if you don't have Twitter or some type of social media reach. If you don't have a platform, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So if you're banned, that's not fair. Pretty much like social media, Twitter, Facebook, they're public squares at this point. You need to have a platform if you want to run for office. So I think the first rule, effective immediately, they're going to bring back Donald Trump. I hope so. I mean, there's going to be a lot of happening.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the jackals are going to be pissed again. Of course, the pedophiles. Let's be honest. Pedophiles run everything right now. They want to diddle your kids. Disney wants to diddle your kids.
Yeah.
They do. There's
literally porn books for kindergartners.
I showed you that, didn't I?
Yeah, like... Not just like pornographic images, right? Drawn images, not actual pictures, but transgender agendas for kindergartners. Now, we don't have any problem with trans people. I have a lot of trans friends, and every single one of them doesn't give a fuck about the agenda. They're not there to push anything.
The message.
They just want to be left the fuck alone, like any regular guy or regular girl, whatever. They just want to go to work, come home, be themselves, leave me the fuck alone. I'm not going to get in your face, and you're not going to get in mine, right?
Do you know why I blame them? Just leave me alone. Do you know why I blame...
Every one of my trans friends is like that, right? But in school, right? In school, they're fucking... There's a massive transgender agenda.
Because they have to push the message in our cartoons, Disney cartoons.
Yeah, but they're not just teaching male, female sexual anatomy. It's like they're grooming you. They're grooming like trans kids.
Okay, what's the definition of a groomer? A groomer is someone that wants to isolate your child, and then they want to communicate secrets to your child.
Yeah.
And they say if you tell your parents, they're going to get upset. So this is going to be our little secret. So currently of course, this varies with school districts, counties, provinces, states, countries, stuff like that, right? It varies. But they're going to kids and they're saying, okay, well, you want to be called this? Okay, we're not going to let your parents. They want to talk about sex with your child. So recently in Florida, are you familiar with what happened in Florida?
No.
The don't say gay bill.
Yeah.
We talked about this last time. Governor Ron DeSantis passed a bill that says you can't talk about sex to kids grades K to 4. Now, not just gay sex or homosexual sex, but even straight sex. That means you can't go to a child and say, you know what? Marriage is between a man and a woman. You can't do that.
Yeah, and that's fair.
So they're calling it the don't say. A lot of re's happening right now, and they're saying because these people want to diddle your kids. They want to touch your kids, and in my benevolent dictatorship, right? I'm gonna have a policy called the wood chipper. You know what that is, right? What we do is this. Okay, what we do is we take these groomers and pedophiles and people that want to harm our children. Groomers, and pedophiles and people that want to harm children, and we make an event out of it. We serve ice cream, cotton candy, and then we have a thing called the wood chipper, and we just toss them in.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah,
toss them in
the wood chipper. And then we serve cotton candy, and then we celebrate the death of the pedophile.
You know, they'll do it themselves. Like, remember that movie Tucker and Dale vs. Evil? They just literally run into the wood chipper.
The wood chipper.
Disguise it with like kids and trans books. Oh, trans! And they'll just run right into it.
Exactly. I'm just saying we throw these people in the like these are groomers, and you know, they're a threat to your children, and you know, if this happened in a school park, right? If someone came up to your kid in a trench coat and said, "Hey, you want to talk about sex?" Back in the day when, you know, fathers had spines, you know, they would, you know, go out to the park and they have their baseball bats and they'd be like, "Hey, we saw you talking to our kids, bud. What's that all about?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The good old days, man.
They wouldn't beat you up on the spot. They would say, "If you come back here again, you know,
stay the fuck away from my kids."
Yeah. So no. We've extended that creepiness to the school district, and now these teachers want to talk. This is the hill they want to die on. It's like, I need to talk about your kid about sex. Why do you want to die on that hill? I never understood that. Like, why do you want to die on that hill? There's a lot of hills I want to die on that's not really popular, right? Yeah. But I don't know why you want to die on that hill. It's just weird, man.
Yeah. This whole agenda is weird. Like, imagine if the entire world was trans or gay. Well, like the left wants. They want you to be gay. They want you to be trans. Straight people are a fucking sin to the left. To the hardcore left, right? A lot of people are just regular liberals that want to be left alone. But when we say the left, we mean libtards.
Well, we mean
We mean people with an insane agenda to ruin and take away everything from your life, all your freedoms and stuff. Well, imagine if they got their way and everyone was gay and everyone was trans.
You know why we
and
don't have
there
to
was
worry?
no free speech.
We don't have to worry because these people
what is that?
don't want to have kids. But the problem is these people are not reproducing. But they don't want... These people, since they don't reproduce because they think global warming and whatever, climate change, and they have to... This self-flagellation where they believe that their line has to stop with them. I think these people are into some sick shit. But these people don't have kids. And when they don't have kids, their ideology will die. Here's the thing. Conservatives have kids. Catholics have lots of kids. Mennonites have lots of kids. For God's sake, Mormons have like 12 kids per family. These people are going to carry on their line. The people, those people, they're not going to have kids because they don't believe in kids. The problem is they want to have your kids. That's why they're so adamant of having sexual conversations with your children in schools. This isn't the talk that we'd received in grade 4, where it was like, here's a vagina, here's a penis, here's the diagram. It wasn't that. It's something a lot more sinister, and they're groomers, and we should treat them as such as the policy of the wood chipper, which I'm in favor, by the way. Okay, this is getting dark, but I mean,
it's getting to that point.
Imagine dying on that hill.
It's getting to that point where there's just like, the great reset needs to happen.
Our good old buddy,
you know what I mean?
Klaus Schwab.
We need some kind of like actual hardcore set of rules to straighten out the world.
Straighten out the world. This is a great reset.
Not sexually straighten out the world, but fix everything.
Hey, we have Elon.
Right. Yeah, we do.
I mean, the thing about Elon is he wants to go to Mars, and he wants to completely revolutionize the auto industry. And Tesla is a disruptor in the industry. It's forcing like Toyota and Ford, all these other giant conglomerate corporations to actually compete. So they have to come up with their own EV technology batteries. And one of the most important things Elon's doing right now is standing up for free speech.
Mm-hmm. He's like the only fucking guy standing up for free speech.
It's important
on that level. Right? What celebrity do you know that stands up for free speech?
Okay,
pretty
Russell
much
Brand.
Nobody.
Russell Brand, he's one.
Does he lose his job?
Oh, he totally left Hollywood. He does his own thing now. He has his own show and everything. Who's that one guy who goes, all right?
Chris Rock?
No, he's white.
Well, Chris Rock did that.
All right. No. What's his name? Matthew McConaughey. The guy basically is like, I'm done with Hollywood. I'm taking my wife and my family. I'm going to Texas.
Makes sense.
He's like, he quit acting.
If you stand up for free speech and you want to continue in Hollywood, it's not going to happen.
Oh, no.
Because it's an art. And the art scene is full of fucking liberals. Like, for example, I like acting, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm part of a theater company. And they had auditions recently for a new main stage play. And my mom told me about it and everything. So I'm like, okay, I'll go look in auditions because of COVID and everything. They stopped.
Should have said, I'm black, I'm gay, I'm disabled.
Yeah. You got the part. No, but seriously.
Yeah, not based on merit.
Like, I go a lot of places in my city, and not one place or one business or one company has asked me to wear a mask or has asked me for my Vax passport or anything like that. Mm-hmm. This fucking theater company, because it's an art, right? They're 90% libtards, I'll be honest. Right? They still want you to have a Vax passport and they still want you to wear a mask.
They better have some good lawyers
right now.
They're not going to receive the protection
2022,
of the
after the mandates and after everything has been done for such a long time now, they still want you to wear a mask and they still want you to have a passport.
Are they receiving the protections of the government though?
No, they're not.
You can say no.
They don't have to. It's not a mandate. It's not a law. It's not a requirement. They're literally doing it because they're what? Pussy liberals pandering to the left.
It's not the left.
It's an theater. Theater is
pandering to an
shut
ideology.
The fuck up for a second. Pandering is a left thing. Sorry,
no,
theater is a left thing.
It can't
it's
be
more left. Would you shut up for a second?
It's stupid.
Theater is a left wing thing for the most part because it's an art. Any art thing is mostly left, right? You listening?
Yeah.
And what does the left do? They get all whiny and crybaby and they fucking throw fits and they report you and they write you up and they stop supporting you when you don't agree with them. And they try to cancel you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if this theater company said, oh, we don't care about masks, oh, we don't care about vax passports, they'd have a significant less amount of people showing up to their shows. Because people would look into it and be like, oh, they don't ask for masks, well, I'm not supporting them.
Well, then...
I'm not even kidding. I got inside information. This is why they do it. They don't do it to feel safe. Do you go to a grocery store? How many fucking people do you brush across the grocery store? When you touch something on the shelf to read the ingredients, how many other people touch that box? You have a much higher chance of getting COVID or any sickness from the grocery store or the gas station than you do from a fucking theater.
Well, let's be honest here. Masks do work. I understand the whole, viral loads from droplets, like Fauci. Droplets! Because, frankly, droplets, put on your mask. Double mask, triple masks. Because, it works. But, frankly, most people don't use masks properly. They get hanging from their ear. They got the earring fashion thing going on. It's coming and hanging on their chin. It's covering up their mouth, but their noses. That's not how masks work. Of course, most people don't you're supposed to wash your hands before you touch a mask, right? If you don't wash your hands, the mask is soiled. And it's ineffective at that point. Most people use the same mask over and over and over again, but they're one use only. So nurses, for example, will wear up to 3-4 masks per day just because they're fidgeting with things. So most masks don't work because people don't use masks properly. And I think people use it for comfort or virtue signaling.
Yes.
During COVID, you would see people, right? It gives COVID, the pandemic gave low status people, weak, pasty people, people that... And these people would come up to you and they would say, "Where's your mask?" This moral posturing, this virtue signaling, right?
That's what I'm saying.
But you look at them and it's like, bro, you're pasty, you're weak. And it's unbelievable. And
they go up to your company and they go, "Oh, you guys don't require masks? Well, then I'm not supporting you. Goodbye."
Well, then maybe people should say, okay, well, if you're gonna still ask for vax kind of passports and stuff like that, I'm not coming to your show. That's the problem.
That's what I did. I said, I'm not auditioning then. Fuck you.
Here's the problem. The left, they're willing to kind of stand by their principles. The right, they're always finding excuses.
Wait a minute. The left does not stand by... They
stand by their ideology, not their principles.
They don't stand by anything because they keep changing their fucking mind.
Okay, standing by the religion.
Something new always comes up. Something new always comes up. Then they just drop the last thing. Like, COVID's gone now. No one cares about it. Yeah. Now it's Ukraine. You know what I noticed the last couple days? Not a fucking single thing about Ukraine. It's already dying down.
Well, okay, I want to rephrase what I said. Obviously, they're unprincipled because they're changing. They're always moving the goalposts, right?
Yeah, they just support the current thing.
Okay, I support the current thing. But, they're really good at kind of standing by the current thing and standing by their religion. It's a cult.
Right.
Yeah. So right now the current cult is, okay, well, we have to support the mask thing. We have to do this. We have to keep pushing vax passports, even though the government is not going to offer me legal protections. They're going to keep pushing that shit because it's a cult. They have to push it.
Yeah, they're doing it because everyone else is doing it also.
Here's the thing.
Sheep mentality.
Now that we're talking about this now, we can kind of segue into what a religion is, right? Okay, so what is a religion, right? Okay, usually the new atheist movement, right? They look at Christianity. Well, I'm an atheist myself, but they'll look at Christianity or Judaism or whatever, right? One of the 3 Abrahamic religions, right? And they'll sit there and they'll just kind of like, religion's dumb. It's so stupid. How could they believe things like that? The talking bush. Okay. So if you take away the kind of sky god, right? A religion is basically having faith in something and believing something and kind of defending it with your dying breath, right? People will believe crazy things. Okay, so, but you take away religion, right? And what do you have? You have to fill the vacuum with something. Okay, so it's kind of far left ideology at this point. It's a religion. It's a cult. That's their religion. Religion may have served some role in our past. you know, maybe it has something to do with consciousness, for example, right? Maybe, I don't know, a couple million years ago in the African savannah, we're running around and then we look in the water and we see our reflection. The problem is when you see your reflection, the next question follows, okay, that's me, but I exist. I exist, but if I exist, am I going to exist forever? Right? So humans would need something to kind of ease the anxiety and the pain that comes with mortality itself. So religion may have served some role in its past, but this evolutionary baggage, we still have it. It's called religion. There's a need for believing in something. You take that away, you better fill it with something better, but we don't. That's why you have this weird these people being parasitized by just bad ideas. You know, I mean, the theater incident, for example, or just look at politics, for example. I mean, holy crap. I mean, college kids have everything. Holy baloney. Like, geez, it's unbelievable. So, I mean, okay, so I'm not a religious person. I'm not a praying man myself. I'm an atheist.
Wait a minute. Were you ever a Christian at all?
No.
So not once did you believe in anything ever in your life?
I mean, I entertained it, but I just mean...
agnostic.
Okay,
right.
My parents were religious. I think my mom we went to school. No, we went to like Bible school, right? Like Sunday school.
Is that it? Yeah, Sunday school.
Yeah, because I asked my mom and she said, I wanted you to have like a foundation of morals. Okay, fair enough, right? Yeah. But as of my mom right now, she's an atheist. As of right now, I'm... Okay, so to channel Carl Sagan, right?
Can for the next podcast, can you bring your mom's Bible?
Maybe, yeah.
Because that thing, I seen that thing years ago.
It's lit up
and
like a rainbow.
Literally every single page of whatever Bible
every
version
contradiction,
she has,
every heinous act God did, yeah.
Every single page has multiple sticky notes, and they're like the skinny sticky notes that are like half an inch wide.
Yeah.
Like just literally littered with sticky notes on every contradiction, every thing that she thought was bullshit, right?
Yeah.
This thing's amazing. You just literally have to look at it and you'll be amazed. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so she thought that she wanted us to have some type of foundation, but like I think the problem is right now. I guess I'm segueing into religion and morals now, and I get the argument, right? You need a foundation, right?
Yeah.
Usually, Christians will kind of, you know, they'll say, okay, well, where do you get your morals from if you have no religion? And a lot of atheists struggle to answer that question, and it makes perfect sense. Okay, don't kill, don't steal. Okay, the Bible has written that. Okay, it makes sense, right? But if you look into it, okay, well, there's a reason why we do certain things. Like, okay, so for example, don't steal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you're in a tribe, for example, right? And you're stealing, you can't be trusted. It disrupts group harmony. That's not good. If you're lying, okay, well, no one's gonna trust you. It's gonna complicate group harmony. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Right?
And throughout history, where does punishment come from? Does it come from God? Well, no. And you have too many people in a tribe, you know, there's going to be... What happens if you have free riders? People that don't pull their own weight, right? What happens... There's always going to be like Stalins and Hitlers and people that want to dominate other people. They have to be taken care of, right? So people found a way to punish people. It was like the old Yeller principle. You take them outside, the dog doesn't come back. And it's very hard to kill someone with stones, without guns. So I guess, okay, so yeah, there's just a way of working these things out.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what would be, I have a question for you now that we're on this topic now. What would be the point of life without religion? What do we have right now to work with? I think I can answer this question.
Literally, my first answer is to procreate.
Okay, that's literally
the point of life.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, but why? We procreate because we want to kind of put off entropy. Entropy is inevitable. It's the second law of thermodynamics. The running down of things. Things rust. Things leak. Things creak. Things fall apart, right? Mm-hmm. My room is a perfect example of entropy. It is complete chaos after a while.
You have more clothes on your floor than you do on your goddamn dresser.
It's unbelievable, right?
Like, why?
Yeah. So in entropy, right now on our skin, right? I want to blow your mind, for example. On our skin. Gay. What? Okay, on our skin right now, what do you think's on our skin? We have billions and billions of, there's a whole microbiome going on right now with all kinds of bacteria and viruses. Of course, our skin is very acidic, so it kills mostly everything on contact. Of course, sometimes you get a cut, it seeps in.
Thank you for mentioning that, because now that I've touched my eyes with whatever the fuck was on my hands, my eyes won't stop watering now.
My point is, bacteria and viruses, they're all trying to kill you, so our bodies have devised an ingenious way of protecting ourselves with, the immune system, right? My point is, when the body dies, you decompose because there's nothing protecting yourself.
No, you don't. You go to heaven.
No, you decompose. you bloat, and then all of the cells explode, and they secrete a type of acid, and it's very disgusting, right? But my point is, your cells are also trying to protect yourself and kind of starve off entropy from happening. So, but when your cells are not there to protect you, decomposition happens, and then you die. And you don't go to heaven, you die. But, I don't know. My point is, with entropy, okay, what do you do in your relationship? In a relationship, you are trying to make the best of it. You're trying to cooperate. The world's really chaotic, so you're trying to carve yourself a little section of order in the world. That would be your relationship with your girlfriend or with your family. You fight, but you make up, right? Because the world's very chaotic, but you want to kind of come together and figure things out and have a little slice of order in an otherwise chaotic world. I mean, look at the world right now. Kids are cutting off their dicks, and being encouraged by the teachers. They're being diddled by teachers right now.
They are cutting off their dicks at an early age.
That's not normal, by the way.
Not literally at an early age, but they're going transgender at a super early age, and then taking hormones at an early age. Right, they haven't hit puberty yet, so it's gonna.
But they can't get a tattoo.
Basically,
until 18.
Yeah. So that's another story. But yeah, they're taking hormones young, right?
Yeah.
So they're literally developing a female body. Like, this is for trans women, right?
Yeah.
They literally develop a female body, like it's identical to someone who was born a woman, right? Because they took hormones young.
Yeah.
And then they grow older, realize that they're not trans, and then they're super depressed and they kill themselves.
And then they say people didn't ever accept it.
Wow, we should be teaching this in school.
No, but when they kill themselves, people say, okay, she killed himself because he...
Yeah, just hold that thought. I got to reset the camera.
Okay.
All right, you can continue.
Okay. I don't want to talk about trans people too much again, but like I said, they kill themselves, and then they say the reason why, he or she killed himself is because they weren't accepted. Well, I mean, you're pumping your body with hormones that completely change everything, how you think, how you interact with the world, your muscle density and stuff like that. And then our understanding of gender dysphoria is very much still in its infancy. And we're jumping to the conclusion and saying, "Oh, the kid's wearing a dress, pump him with pills and injections, and cut off his genitalia, and he's gonna feel better." It's like, no, let's. Anyways, I don't want to talk too much into this because it's just boring me at this point.
It's crazy. Basically, the moral of the story is, I believe that you're born gay, or bi, or like whatever sexuality you have, right? Or are. I think you're born that way. I don't think it's something you develop or just decide what you want, right? Obviously, you can experiment and figure things out, but if you don't like it, you don't like it. And if you do, you do. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So why the fuck are we turning kids gay at a young age when they do not know that if they're gay yet?
Well, they're encouraging it, right?
When they're 35 and someone goes, "Oh, how did you know? When did you know you were gay?" And then they go, "Oh, I knew at a young age I was gay. By the age of 7, I just knew I was." Are you sure? Like, seriously. Are you sure? Or you just think you are? Or experimenting? Oh, might as well pump you full of hormones until you actually develop breasts that can't just go away, and then you get depressed and kill yourself. Anyway,
I don't know, man. I think
this is a 4-hour topic.
I know, I honestly think it's boring. I'm so done with it. I'm like, hey, well, if you want to pump your whatever. I mean, there's nothing we can do. We're just two guys, couple of guys on a podcast. There's nothing we can do about it, right? I just want to talk about things that I don't know that are exciting. Because I'm like, I don't know. Because now we got to talk about Klaus Schwab and that, evil German guy that wants to depopulate the world and how he wants to make the world safe for pedophiles and stuff like that. And I'm like, for me, just Elon right now battling for control of Twitter. So he could transform it into a kind of a free speech platform. To me, that's just, it means that the good guys are kind of winning. Right? Because evil people they're unsustainable.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, despots, evil people, dictators, they're never, it's never sustainable work. It always falls apart. And right now, look at the mainstream media. It's falling apart between our eyes. It's falling apart before our eyes.
That's what I'm excited about.
I mean, the CNN, CBC, NBC, MSNBC, legacy media is slowly crumbling before our eyes. More people are turning into places like Timcast, The Quartering. Is this thing ever going to work itself out?
Yeah, sorry, I'm fucking around. We're new to this podcast.
Yeah, I know. So yeah. It's crumbling before our eyes, and right now Twitter is potentially, it's going to look. Right now they're fucked because they have to sell to Elon, because selling to Elon makes the shareholders rich. There's one shareholder that doesn't want Elon to buy it. I think he's like a prince in in Saudi Arabia, and we know what they do in Saudi Arabia to journalists. They kill them. They chop their heads off. I mean, and this guy's skeptical of Elon. But I mean, it's amazing. Who's the left going to stand with? Are they going to stand with dictatorships, like a literal dictatorship, the House of Saud, where they kill gays, like
yeah,
like they kill gays, or Elon Musk, an immigrant success story? Oh no, we're going to stand with the House of Saud. It's like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
And Ukraine's not a real country, by the way.
Yeah.
Down with Ukraine.
You know what sucks about war?
Yeah.
Especially Russia, Ukraine, or any war, whatever.
Yeah.
Any battle, any war, any civil war, whatever, doesn't matter. It's the governments that suck. It's not the people. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, okay. Obviously, not every single German person back in World War II, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not every single one of them wanted to kill Americans.
Yeah.
There were some really nice ones who just wanted to be left the fuck alone. Same with Ukraine. Same with Russia. Not all of Russia hates Ukraine. Not all of Ukraine hates Russia. So when people say, oh, fuck Ukraine, this thing's stupid, they're not saying fuck every Ukrainian person ever. I don't care about you. They're saying fuck the government.
Yeah, no, just fuck Zelensky, the puppet president.
Fuck the evil people. Right?
Yeah. Well, that's funny, right? No one's talking about Shanghai right now in China, where they're literally locking people into their apartments right now, like Nazi Gestapo style. But and the Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps in China, no one cares because the TV's not telling him to care.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
why do we care so much about Russia, Ukraine, and not literally any other war?
Like, it's funny when Disney filmed the live action movie Mulan, and they filmed it knowing full well that there was a location they wanted, and this location was near concentration camps. You listening?
I'm listening.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. This area they wanted for the cinematography was being filmed near actual concentration camps in China.
Okay, so?
Well, Disney just kind of said, okay, sure, we'll do it. And then they thanked the Chinese Communist Party for letting them film there.
So?
Okay.
What am I missing?
Okay. That would be like if Disney. Okay. So World War II. We'll go to Nazi Germany. Okay. We'll go to Auschwitz. Okay. Right, in Poland. Right. And okay, Disney says, okay, we're gonna go to Auschwitz and we're gonna film right outside Auschwitz. Thank you, Nazi Party. To make a film. Would that be pretty fucked up?
Like the location, or thanking
right
Nazi
next to a concentration camp.
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
Depends.
They're doing that right now in China. They did do it in China.
Do they have to? Do they have to be on location?
I don't know. I'm just saying the location was next to a concentration camp.
So you're saying that's fucked because it was next to a concentration camp. Why would you shoot next to a concentration camp?
Why the fuck would you do any business with China, period?
That's fair. Yeah.
They're literally, like, everything that has happened in Nazi Germany is currently happening right now. But, I don't know, I guess we have too much trade. They got our balls in an economic vice right now. And they're just squeezing the levers right now, and they're gonna smush our nuts. There's not a damn thing we can do about it.
Smush our nuts.
I mean,
welcome to the Smush Our Nuts podcast.
Yeah, but no, the reason why no one cares about China. Here's the secret, okay?
Because TV didn't tell them to.
Well, that's one reason. But the reason why no one cares about what's happening in China is, well, in Nazi Germany, there was no economic ties to Germany. So I guess Hitler had nothing to lose at that point. You know, sanctions and stuff like that, right? But no one's putting sanctions on China right now, right? Like I said, they got our balls in an economic vice, and they're squeezing our goddamn nuts.
Doesn't everybody hate everybody, but they have to work together, otherwise the world crumbles?
Well,
Isn't that essentially what government is?
Where do you think all our pharmaceuticals come from? China?
Yeah.
Where do you think everything?
Everything we have is made in China or Mexico.
It's funny because Trump in 2018, he was at doing a speech to the UN, and he said, Germany right now is in trouble. Right now, they're too reliant on Russian oil. And in the near future, of course I'm paraphrasing, but he said in the near future, Russia will weaponize petroleum products against the West. What do you think they're fucking doing right now? Right now, if you want to buy oil, you have to buy it in American dollars. Well, Putin right now is demanding you have to buy it in Russian currency, effectively strengthening their own currency. So Trump was right. Oh yeah, they laughed at him. They said, "Oh, Mr. Trump, this would never happen." Oh, shut the fuck up. Like, seriously. I mean, like I said, Russia is weaponizing the economy right now. Hey, I just want to say something. Putin has done nothing to me. Why would I be mad at Putin? Has he called me a terrorist? My own government has called me a terrorist.
Yeah.
My own government has he endangered my life?
No,
I mean,
really.
in Canada, if you tried to protest, they ran you over with horses. I mean, Putin did that to his own people.
Literally.
Like, arresting journalists. But hey, that's your country. Is he doing that to me right now? No. Like, I have nothing against Putin.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that sounds really, like, politically incorrect and a terrible thing to say, but Putin has done nothing wrong to me. Why should I be mad at him? Has he declared me a terrorist? No, my own government has declared me a terrorist.
Why waste your time?
My own government has engaged in despotic lockdowns. Our own government in the beginning of the pandemic let everyone in. While there was an epidemic in Iran, let everyone in. They let everyone in from Wuhan, China, knowing full well what was happening. There was no temperature checks. There was no proper screening. They were more concerned of appearing racist towards Asians.
Yikes.
They weren't, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, why aren't you putting masks on people? Why aren't you screening people? Where's the temperature checks? No questions whatsoever. So our government put us in danger. But they want me to be mad at, like, Putin for some reason. I don't know, be mad at the current thing. And I'm like, whatever. That's Putin's country.
Be mad at the current thing.
I know, that's Putin's country. Putin's going to do what's right for his country or himself. He's going to, whatever. Right? I care about what's happening in my country.
People are pathetic.
Exactly.
Like, why are there so many sheep? Well, they do whatever the fucking TV tells them to.
Well, right now people are...
seriously. Fucking look up your own information.
The problem is, right?
Make your own fucking decisions. Critical thinking skills. Common sense.
They don't have that because people...
Why are you just supporting the current thing?
Because people are... It feels like they're not growing up. Like, look what we did to dogs, for example, right? Dogs
literally monkeys.
Dogs are in a... Well, we're dumber than monkeys. Dogs are in a perpetual state of puppyhood, right? Wolves don't act like that. With wolves, for example, you go to the wild, wolves, they don't act like puppies. There's like a dominance, constant dominance hierarchy struggle, and they're killing each other, right? Like a wolf will try to kill you in the wild, right? So we bred puppies to be docile and to constantly love us, basically. This is why I like cats, because dogs will give you unconditional love through artificial selection. It's like when a dog's running to you and it loves you, the dog doesn't really love you. The dog doesn't have a choice.
Are you sure?
Through its genes, the dog has been bred to love you, period.
Dogs can hate people.
I can, but I mean, a dog is going to, like, see, cats don't suck up to anyone. Because we've only been around cats for, 1,000 years? We've had about 10,000 years to break dogs and domesticate them.
What do you mean? The earth is only 6,000 years old. It says so in the Bible.
I know. But so I think dogs have been... It's like grown dogs are in a perpetual state of like, I'm a puppy, look at me, oh, I'm cute, I'm a dog. They're not wolves anymore. So I think like Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum dickheads, the global elites, they want to keep people in a kind of docile, childlike state. Look at these people. Like, I have nothing against Marvel movies, for example, right, or superhero movies, right? But those are, you want to, when you go to a superhero movie, right, you want to just kind of forget the world exists. And you want to witness a story of good and evil. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You just say yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, too many people are applying that to the real world now. So some people are being like, or Harry Potter. They'll be like, what's happening in Ukraine? It's like Harry Potter, where Putin is Voldemort and Zelensky's Harry Potter. What? This is like the Justice League. Okay, that's a superhero movie. This is foreign policy. This is real life. People are dying. It's a fucking superhero movie.
This is foreign policy.
Yeah, it's foreign policy.
Yeah.
Right? It's completely different. You cannot apply something idealistic like a superhero movie, right? Where in a superhero movie, it's always good and evil. And good triumphs over evil, right? But you cannot apply that to a global conflict, a multi-layered problem, where there's just not good or evil, there's just shades of fucking gray. You understand what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
But, it's kind of like we watch too much of these movies and we're like, oh, he's like Spider-Man. No, Spider-Man's a superhero.
Yeah. We're always looking to compare.
Right? This is a war or a conflict or a civil war that's happening in a country that you can't even point out on the map because you failed geography class and you're a moron.
Yeah.
Spider-Man would do this. Peter Parker's not real, dickhead.
Yeah.
It's for children. God. Anyway.
Dumber than monkeys.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I have a cat, right? And my cat Kale.
Your cat is fat.
Is he getting fat?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh God, I think he's more competent to run a federal government. Next election, I'll be like, okay, well, I'll just put my cat. Is he human? God damn it, I can't. No, he's a cat. What are you? What's the word? Catophobic?
Yeah, felinophobic.
Felinophobic, you racist son of a bitch. My cat can't run the show. You piece of shit. He's my baby.
Feline phobia.
Acknowledge him.
Yeah.
Like,
all you gotta do is start complaining and gather some groups of people, and suddenly you're everywhere and on the news, and now suddenly cats are running the world because you fucking were a crybaby about it.
Son of a bitch, my cat could run a better government and streamline the whole goddamn process. It would be like Ron Paul. We would have gold everywhere, and we'd have Bitcoin.
Imagine that, a cat running a government.
Things would go great. I mean, inflation would drop. Our buying power would come back. We would be living in like this promised land. I mean, what do you have to lose? Put my cat in the government, and he would run the show right. And I would be like, Kale, that is some bullshit, but in a good way though. Anyways, but yeah. That my complete disgust with how things are running right now. But like I said,
Ryland's book is coming out. It's called My Complete Disgust.
My Complete Disgust. But anyways, yeah, but like I said, I'm not ripping on people that like movies, but just don't apply that to real life situations.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. I mean,
I get why,
it's a frame of reference.
It seems comparable. Yeah, it's a frame of reference, but
like, okay, it's kind of hard to have a frame of reference when, for example, we've never fought in a war. So our type of conflict would be like a sports game.
Personally us.
Yeah, or watching a superhero movie, right? Because it'd be like, okay, I could apply what I've seen here to like this, because that's my frame of reference. But in real life, there's no good guys, there's no bad guys. It's just humans killing each other.
Yeah.
Over and over again. It's like I'm playing the game Horizon Forbidden West, and I'm like, okay, are they going to inject some wokeness into this? Okay, well, there was a female tribe. There's these raiders, right? And I had to go kill a raider tribe. It was like consisted of all women and like 2 pasty white guys. And I'm like, okay, I can only suspend my disbelief for so long, because in the real world, you know what the real world is?
Exactly the opposite.
It's strong men going around. It's a patriarchy, and they're raping and taking what they want. And then when they could, kind of build a semblance of civilization comprising of walls, that's when feminism can flourish. Because now we can be like, you're safe now. We've killed the bad guys. We've brought back provisional resources. Now you could have equality. I'm like, that's a pretty good deal. The men die, and now you can say you're equal to a man now. It's a pretty good deal, right?
Wow, look how sexist you are.
No, it's not sexist. You have that masculine kind of rage energy, right? And then
hormones.
You're supposed to cultivate a safe area. Then you can cultivate the feminine energy.
Yes.
We need both.
It makes sense. Imagine if we just sent females out to war.
Well, they would die.
In World War II.
They would die.
Sure, they could be smart enough and competent enough and know how to do everything and be strategic and all that kind of stuff. But what they lack is physical strength and physical endurance.
I understand the beaches of Normandy.
Their hormones.
The beaches of Normandy were a bloodbath.
This is not a sexist thing.
They would die quicker. It'd be more of a bloodbath.
Yeah, they probably would. Imagine all the fucking imagine all the fist fights. Who's gonna win in a fist fight, a man or a woman? The same height, same weight, same skill. Who's gonna win in a fist fight?
I want equality, but we're not equal though. I mean, like I can drive a car for more than 7 minutes without hitting something. When I bleed for 7 days, I die.
Yeah, listen, we're not physically equal. Men and women, biological men and biological women are not physically equal. So we cannot have equality there. We cannot have trans women competing in female sports. That's unfair. And we can't have trans men competing in men's sports, because that's also unfair.
Well, it's unfair to women.
If we're going to have fucking sports, create a new division, trans sports, where trans people can compete against trans people.
That'd be great. Anything
trans
goes.
Trans women versus trans women, trans men versus trans men. That's fair.
You can inject your body with all the hormone replacement chemicals and drugs and until you're fucking, to the cows come home. You know what I mean?
Do you know how many trans fucking men there are, dude? None? There's lots. There's a lot of trans men, right? So a trans man is a biological woman who took testosterone and became a man, right? Mm-hmm. Biological man. Yeah. Well, not biological, but they became a man. They grew facial hair or whatever, right? They became a lot stronger without even trying, without going to the gym, without lifting weights. They just became stronger.
Because they have broader shoulders?
Because of testosterone.
Well, which what do you creates broader shoulders?
Yes, yes. But what do you think testosterone is? Or sorry, what do you think steroids is?
Well, I know what a testosterone is.
Steroids is testosterone.
Testosterone is associated with taking more risks and being, like, for example, you know that old trope? It's like, this is why women live longer, because it shows a guy, like, trying to fix an air conditioning machine, balancing on, like, a half-broken ladder all over a staircase. Yeah. This is something like his Randy would do, his dad.
Yeah.
I gotta get fixed, right?
Yeah, as fast as possible.
Without any concerns of safety whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, when you have higher testosterone, it's been studied to be associated with taking more risks and being more assertive. For example, women... I saw a Cosmo magazine. Don't read that, for example. It's dumb. It makes women dumb. Don't read it. But it says how to ask your boss for a wage increase. Okay, his dad, Randy, for example, right?
Oh, my dad.
His dad is literally, he would go up to his boss and say, look, this is my worth. Pay me more or I walk.
Yep.
And, sorry, Mr. Randy, I'm sorry. He's not a Arabic. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll keep you. Keep you.
You know, my dad is basically the reason why everyone gets paid a lot more at his job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He knows what he's worth. He knows what the employees are worth. He's the head of whatever board they have there, and he goes to those meetings. And he doesn't go, "Can we have a raise, please?" He goes, "I want a raise or we're done." Inflation
is up. My buying power has decreased. Fucking price of bananas has gone up. But fuck, what am I supposed to do? Fuck, what am I to do, Walter?
Cut me some fucking slack here.
Yeah, give me some slack. What am I to do?
Yeah, what am I to do, Walter?
What am I to do, Walter? You know?
Yeah. Fuck you, Bogdan.
But anyways, yeah. So I get it. So
imagine not taking risks in war. Right?
Oh god!
Oh, there's enemies over there. We probably shouldn't push the battlefield.
There was too much.
You gotta take risks.
There was too much risks.
Well, yes, you have to balance it out.
It was young 18-year-olds basically throwing themselves in front of enemy fire, like fucking cannon fodder.
Yes, and it worked.
It was terrible.
It sucked, but it worked.
What do you think Normandy was? It was literally young guys running in gunfire and getting shot.
How many stories have you heard where? We got 5 minutes left, unless I restart the camera again.
Oh, anyways, shit! We'll
how many fucking stories have you heard?
What do we got for time
right now? We're at 51 minutes.
We got to cut this off soon.
Listen, how many stories have you heard where one guy with a sticky bomb or Molotov has ran across a battlefield with hundreds of rounds of ammo, firing his way in no man's land, right?
Yeah.
No man's land is the portion between trenches where the bullets are like literally flying across. Right?
Basically unsafe.
How many fucking stories have you heard where one guy runs across the battlefield and he took a fucking risk? He's got a molly or a grenade. Yeah. He runs across the battlefield. He goes up to the concrete trench or not trench, the enclosure where the enemy machine gunners are, right? And he throws a molly in there.
And they're like 17,
One
18.
guy
They're
took
young
a
guys.
fucking risk, and he's like, "I'm probably going to die, but I'm going to take this grenade. I'm going to run up there. I'm going to get literally right underneath enemy machine guns, like inches away. Boop, drop my grenade in there, take them out so we can advance across the field."
Say what you want, but that's a
lot of women won't do that.
Well, I don't want them to do that though. I don't want them to do that though. I want them to be safe so they can have kids, which is a beautiful thing. So I want to sacrifice myself and die for kids, my kids or whatever, right? That's what I want to do. I want to die for my girlfriend, my wife.
Why can't we just have this balance? You know what I mean?
Fuck's sakes. You get that yin and the yang. I mean, okay, we got to wrap this up.
I'm not saying women are useless. By no means.
No, they have worth and value, but
there's an equality thing that just cannot be realistic.
But I think we should wrap this up now. We're almost at 55 minutes.
I hope you get my point, but
I get your point. I hope they get the point. Whoever's listening in internet land, hello.
You're still there.
Are we shadow banned? We're not important enough to be shadow banned, but I don't know. This is fun though. Okay, so is it over?
Yeah, great outro.
Okay, well, thank you for listening or watching wherever you may be. It's been about 3 weeks since we did our first one.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna try to put this on Rumble. We have to this time.
What the fuck is Rumble?
Well, look at Rumble. It's like another streaming service like YouTube, except unwoke.
For videos?
For videos, yeah.
Okay.
But still, we're gonna stick it on YouTube because YouTube is still the main player in town.
Yeah.
But
it's also gonna be on Podbean. And by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube or Podbean and you have an account, leave a comment. And here's a little test. Start your comment with what word?
White power. No.
White power.
No, it's a joke.
Start your comment.
I'm not racist. I have a black friend.
Okay. What's the word? Mars. Start your comment with Mars.
Mars. Because
M-A-R-S.
Mars is forever.
Then we'll know that you made it to the end of the video. So if you don't start your comment with the word Mars, and then whatever you want your comment to be, then I'll know you never watched it to the end of the video. You're a fucking loser. Just kidding.
No, we love you, sort of.
Yeah, we love you.
In a non-gay way.
Sort of.
In a non-gay way.
Yeah, thank you for watching or listening. We like doing these. He calls me every day, basically, and we talk all day because we're gay.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye. Let's get out of here.
All right, bye.
Yes.